Can't be... You cannot prepare enough to overcome foolishness. Hello everyone, Thranxes here, and welcome back to Astroneer, episode 35, where we've made a little trip back here to Silva, just to gather a few materials, make some aluminum alloy, grab a few last-minute things, but we're pretty much all set and ready to go. Instead of traveling with my rocket back and forth, I've actually been utilizing the gateway connection that we have to Desolo, which is very handy, actually. The more that I fiddle around with it as well, the more I believe... Why, hello there! The more I fiddle around with it, indeed, the more I believe that it is actually to our benefit that we crashed our rover train into the core of Desolo, and I'm going to show you why here in just a moment. So you have to go the satellite route to get back. It's a few jumps. I sort of wish you could shortcut, but I suppose I understand why they did it this way. So we're going to jump back to the core of Desolo, and then we'll have to jump one more time back to the surface of Desolo. But because these resources are stockpiled here at the core, at any point we can warp to the core of Desolo and just sort of take our pick of any of these resources that we need, which is pretty neat, including scrap, laterite, compound res. I mean, really, the more I thought about ferrying these back and forth, I kind of realized, like, why would I? This is like a little bank of resources right here, right at the core of the planet, which we can warp to at any point in time we want. So we're just gonna leave those there as we jump back to our surface base, where you'll see that we have pretty much ferried everything of value. The big kicker was to get the 3 RTGs locked up with packagers and brought back, which we did. And I also went and gathered the copper and aluminum needed to make 6 more aluminum alloy, and then, or aluminum alloy. It is our ally. It's our ally, the alloy. Make 6 more aluminum alloy and 6 rubber, so we can make 3 more large rovers. And then, of course, we've got our drill strength 3. So the only thing we're missing are maybe some more RTGs, a portable oxygenator, a crane, not much else. We're doing fairly well. I think we're going to leave some of this argon behind, though, as we don't really require this argon. We ended up not needing nearly as much of it as we thought we would, because we ended up not really making any steel. Now, we are bringing 2 steel back with us, but Glacio has all the argon we could ever need. In fact, I dare say we're going to leave all of our argon here, because I can't justify taking it with us. I really can't. I wish I could, but I can't. So we've got some copper, some iron, we've got some ready-made steel, some hydrazine for replacing this canister once it runs out, a lot of packagers, some extenders, a little bit of scrap, some copper, iron, 1 ceramic. Why 1 ceramic? I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's, without further ado, take off on our shuttle and bounce out of here, for we have everything we need. We could take this RTG, but I'd actually like to leave it there in case we ever come back. I don't know why we would, but we may. We may one day. You never know. Now, taking a step back, looking at the system, Calidor is the next stop. But before we can go to Calidor, we need to make another portable oxygenator and maybe even a few extra RTGs. I'm not sure how many it's going to take to activate gateways on Calidor, but I would like to continue the process of making more sooner rather than later. To kick that off, we're going to need helium from our atmospheric condenser here on Atrox. If I had the spare graphite and packagers, I might unpack the 3 RTGs just to see if that even gets us close to a gateway. But alas, I don't think it does. So we're not going to mess with that. Not a lot of areas to land on this planet. Big problem. Although we know our landing pad is around here somewhere. Somewhere along this axis of the planet. Should pop up somewhere with one of these gateways. If not this one, then another one soon. It's obviously not that gateway. It's hard to believe almost that there are no other landing areas known on this planet. That seems sort of extreme. Alas, here we are. I believe that's us. Oh, look, we have one there, we have one there. Okay, so there might have been other landing areas that popped up underneath the clouds, but this one is in fact the one we want to go to. Right here, right next to our gateway, and oh, yuck, so our landing pad... No, don't launch. What are you doing? So apparently it does not like that landing area. And instead we must land on the landing pad. I guess it didn't like that at all. Let's try that again. Coming in for requesting a second approach, please. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Stuck the landing on that one. Very nice, very nice. How are we doing here? Look at all this helium. Oh my, oh my. Delicious. Let's go ahead and grab a few of these. This really is the main reason to come here, is to get this helium, and we're going to grab quite a bit of it. That way we can just go straight to Glacio next time. Do we have room for any more? We do if we move this hydrazine. Let's grab ourselves another helium. We did grab some methane so we can make some silicone for the crane. And then, look, we have more room up there. I can't imagine we're going to need more helium than this, but let's keep grabbing it. It doesn't hurt us to bring extra with us. It doesn't. Although I think, to be fair, 2 of these were made for this aluminum alloy. And that's our methane. We grabbed an extra methane? Okay, we don't have as much lithium as I would have liked. It's probably all laying around on Glacio. We didn't bring any zinc with us. That could end up being a problem. Although I suppose that's what scrap is for. We do have quite a bit of scrap, so let's not overanalyze it. Instead, we'll let this go back to creating more helium, and we will take back off. We don't have time for this radiated planet. Not yet. Not at this time. So instead, we shall take back off into orbit and look for our home away from home on Glacio. There we go. The tundra planet. Still lots of fuel in our Oh, look out for the atmosphere. Lots of fuel in our hydrazine canisters. Oh, look, the planets have aligned. Dum, 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 dum. The prophecy has come true. No. Right here. Touching down on landing pad 01, request authorization for nanocarbon alloy base, please. Look at this, we've already got a rover here when it comes time to explore this planet. Oh, and we've got sphalerite and lithium and just, oh, gosh, gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. So much going on. So much. Alright, so let's head down here. We'll throw our helium onto our chemical processor here. Well, for my malachite, everybody's got everything except titanium. We need more of that titanium. So let's make sure we put that on here, titanium. And then let's see, we're also going to need steel. We made some steel back on Desolo. I don't know if it was really anything we needed. And at the time, I felt like it was rather wasteful. However, in hindsight, we've come to realize that that steel will not go to waste because we can use it for the production of nanocarbon alloys. But first, what we need is titanium alloy, which is going to take graphene. Do we get nitrogen from this atmosphere? Oh, we don't. So we're limited on... No, we brought lots of nitrogen. Disregard, disregard. Graphene, which means graphite and hydrazine. Well, we can go ahead and start processing more graphite with our soil tanks, so I think we should do that. Look at that. So that'll get us enough for 4 graphene. That's pretty good. Take those canisters back, say process into graphite. Dare say we can leave the lithium here. Hydrazine will go there. Alright, and we did bring hydrogen. Now sadly, we can't jump planets through the gateways unless we have a gateway to the core, and while this gateway is very convenient next to our base, even if we dedicated the power and the RTGs to activating it, it would not connect us to the core without a tunnel going down. And while we could do that, I don't think now is the time that we want to do it. There's some hydrazine. And we'll put this iron back. Let's actually see, I'm curious, because we're going to Calidor. What sort of gases are in the atmosphere of Calidor? Hydrogen and sulfur. Average atmosphere. Okay, so we'll get sulfur, which means we'll get to make some of the neat things like maybe fireworks and TNT. That's kind of cool. We are going to take one of these hydrazine back. But it also means we don't have to sweat really the lack of hydrogen here, because we're going to have plenty of hydrogen where we're going. Which really, that's all anybody wants, is to make sure that we're going to have everything we need where we're going. So let's see, that's 4 hydrazine. Now we need 1, 2, 3, 4 graphite. And at this stage, we should just be able to be processing all along. I don't think we have enough titanium. What, I was able to put 3 on there? So we might actually need a little bit more. Well, we could take another trip underground. We have the compound to put out more tethers. In fact, I think that's the way to do this. Oh, look! We have a silicone. Okay, well, we'll be able to make the crane with that. We are going to need more titanium for the crane as well. Let's take a look real quick, just to verify. Steel, silicone, titanium. Yeah, I do believe we should. Come on, tether bundle. Bundle of tethers. Okay. I think we should be digging down. I think that's the thing we should do. So, let's go ahead and get us a nice steep path down here. So what we'll do is we'll go tether here. Tether, oops. Alright, and then we just continue our path on down, down, down. Lots of laterite, lots of other resources. And look, I can already see titanium over there. Now, being that this is a planet and not a moon, this is actually going to have many, many layers before we get to the core. So it's not going to be quite as easy to get to it as it was on Desolo. Not that I would say it was necessarily easy, but you know what I mean. It wasn't that layered. It didn't take that many layers to get down there. But we do have room for 3 titanium. Is that all we're going to be able to bring back? Say we kick these tethers to the curb, and we just go for 4. There's our 4 titanite. We'll bring that back. We'll turn it into titanium. We have another reserve down there to go, should we need it. This means we'll have the titanium needed for the drill and the titanium needed for the nanocarbon alloys. So let's go ahead and set these up to be smelted. And we have the silicon. Do we want to make more silicon? I think we have the stuff for it, because we brought the methane, and then it's just resin and quartz. Could be handy to keep some of that with us at all times. You never know when you need it. Resin and quartz and methane, and I know there's methane on the shuttle. Okay, as we were, let's, I think we're going to hold off on that for now. Instead, let's continue making the titanium alloy. And then we're going to end up needing more steel as well. See, we have 2 steel, but it's going to take more than that. We know it will for a fact. We don't really have the iron on hand. We could grab it off the shuttle. Yeah, I think that is the answer. Although we could just get more while we're here. But what do we really need this iron for? We're not really using it for anything else. I'm starting to come around to the idea that it's not necessary for the production of platforms, because why? I mean, there's not that much of a benefit to the platform C versus the platform or the large platform C versus the large platform B. I know in the comments I sort of defended the large platform C at one time. I said, hey, I think it's better because it all fits in one box. But the truth is, I like being able to take a medium storage off the side of a platform and move it to another platform. I actually think that's rather handy. So let's make 2 more steel. And then after we've made our last steel, we'll be able to switch over to the nanocarbon alloy and crank out 4 more by my calculations. Which is quite a significant amount. That means we're gonna get 1 more portable oxygenator back and 3 more RTGs. Although I'm tempted to make a backup portable oxygenator. Oh, I don't know. There's no cure for foolishness. You can't be... You cannot prepare enough to overcome foolishness. I suppose that any amount of just running through hazardous Florida is going to cost us, regardless of how many extra portable oxygenators we have on hand. So instead, let's process 1 portable oxygenator. And then we'll start processing radioisotope thermoelectric generators. I don't know how many it takes to open the gateways, but 3 seemed like more than enough for Desolo. And I believe we're going to bring more than that with us to Calidor. I mean, we're going to be bringing 6 to Calidor. Now, we'll probably keep maybe 1 or 2 for the base, put 4 on the rovers. I'm not sure. But the idea is that we'll be able to test it on a surface gateway before we get to where we're trying it out in the core and then learn that we don't have enough, because that's not really the situation we want to find ourselves in. Alright, I do like that. I don't know if I want 2 canisters, 1 oxygen canister, 1... So this means I can only hold 4 things. That hurts me in the feels. I think it's probably the right answer, though. Because at this stage, we're pretty much ready to go to Calidor as is. No, what? We need titanium, right? That's what we agreed. We do need titanium. It would be helpful to bring some resin. So let's get 4 resin going here, just in case we don't land near any. And then what? We need the titanium. Let's bring 2 just in case. And then... do we make... I think we make the silicon here. We probably bring a methane with us anyways. It's just 1 and it holds 5, although we do have 2. No, I think we take 1 methane and we make the silicon here. I think that's the right answer. That's what we'll do. It doesn't cost us anything. We already have power set up. Plenty of power generation set up here. Not to mention... we have the chemistry station already set up. I mean, it almost feels foolish not to make the silicon here and then bring it with us. So we get 2 quartz out of this. We are going to need some clay. We're bringing the aluminum. We'll be able to do the soil centrifuge. I think we're going to leave this silicon here. If we bring 1, leave 2. If we bring 3... And then we have enough for a base, right? Because, what, if we want to do like an actual shelter, we need 2 plastic, 2 silicone. And the plastic is carbon and compound. Pretty simple. Let's get a second soil container. There's an easy way to handle this. And that's called, we just mine up the rocks. And then let's grab some of this research. We mine up the rocks, we take it back up top, and... oh, look, there was a whole nest of quartz down there. Well... what's done is done, I'm afraid. Ugh, we don't have a research department here, do we? Ugh, we certainly don't. Whatever. Whatever. So we'll take 1 canister, and with that we're going to make... wait, we have compound, don't we? We have some. It only takes 2 plastic. Then we'll just make the organic. Keep the other container on us. There it is, silicone. Grab the 1 more quartz. Draining those batteries now. Boom, look at that. 1 and 2. And 3. So now we have our 3 silicone, and then we bring 2 plastic, and then we're set. Oh, and 1 steel. Ooh. How could I forget the steel? It was almost a steal. We don't even have a trade platform here for all this scrap. And what are we going to do with all these packagers? I don't know, Thranxes. I don't know. So I guess we go and we grab some hematite. Just to get some more iron. So we just have to bring 1 steel with us. Just 1. And I know where there is a lot of hematite. Right over yonder, across the frozen wastes. So much hematite, we had to leave some lying on the ground. In an effort to help us remember there was more here. Wait, was there more here? I'm still getting the symbol above the terrain. Oh yeah, there's hematite here. Ooh. Barracuda. Excellent. Okay, so that being said, we've got our hematite. And we've got our hematite, and I suppose with a portable solar, we'd really get by with a lot of oxygen. 1, 2, no, not the copper, give me another carbon. One, 2 for the plastic. We can start with that. Yep, and that one for the steel. We'll leave the other iron there. We only need the 1. 2 plastic, and then after that we make a steel. And then we're ready to go hit the new planet. Plastic. With the 2 soil canisters, I mean, that's really where we want to be, isn't it? I can't help but feel like if we don't grab a small solar panel, we're messing up. I can't help it. I feel it in my bones. So what? We bring all this scrap with us? These empty canisters? No. No empty canisters. Instead, we'll bring the plastic, and then we'll bring one micro solar panel, which we'll put here. Wonderful. I think at this point we are ready to rock. Maybe alignment mod. Got all 3 mods here. Batteries, light, oxygenator, plastic, rubber, silicon, copper. I don't know if we're going to need zinc for anything, but we should bring one just in case. Just in case. Aluminum, again with the scrap. I don't know if it's going to be useful. We're not bringing any tungsten. Is that a mistake? Hold up. What actual resources are on Calidor? Malachite and wolframite will be in the mountains. So copper... So hold the phone. Copper and... I mean, really, the aluminum is a waste as well. But realistically, copper and tungsten are a complete waste to bring with us, so instead we will bring some of this pre-zinc here. And then so ultimately we'll bring the canisters back because that saves us on resin. So I guess we're just committing that we're going to have to look for resin or compound as soon as we get there, which that's not the end of the world. I accept these terms. Let's lock up the storage and let's get underway. We can always shuttle back if we need to. We still have 1.5 packages of hydrazine on our thruster. So we're not hurting by any stretch of the imagination for fuel. Let's see, where is it? Calidor, the arid planet. Let's go and see what you have for us. Now, what I did not bring is a launch pad. Ooh, see, that means we're hoping for a landing area near a gateway already. Oh, those are pretty close. Pretty close, but not really close. Do we? Should have brought a landing pad. That's what I should have done. We don't really have the room for a landing pad. We'd have to kick off something important, I'm sure. We could offload the scrap. We could just make 2 trips, like we did with Glacio. But then again, this is a full-blown planet, so we're going to have to travel around with the rover quite extensively to get to all the gateways on the surface of this planet, which means we're going to have to become very intimately familiar with this planet. I'm already regretting not taking the landing zones we saw when we first got here. Oh, look at the atmosphere. And the clouds. This planet looks kind of neat, actually. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've even seen this planet since full release. This would be the last planet we've not been to yet. And it looks like those landing zones by the first gateway were the best ones. Unless we want to jump over there to one of the poles. The North Pole or whatever. Oh, surely that's going to be near a gateway. Look at that. I can see it there. Let's wait and see where the actual alignment is. Oh, I think these are the ones we saw when we first got here. That's pretty darn close. I think we can always tether to it from there. Let's do it. We're choosing a landing site. Here we go. That's relatively close. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. It's not that far. It's a famous last words. Well, that being said, that's where we're going to wrap up this episode as we just got here, and now we're going to have to make our way. This has been episode 35. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you've had a good time watching, because as always, I've had a good time playing. Be sure to come back next time as we continue to explore the surface of Calidor and get our base established. But until then, take care.